So this one, it's about an auditorium. So let's look at the question. We have 50 rows altogether. So so you have 80. So first row, it's 18 seats. And then you have 20 seats for the second row, 22 seats for the third row, and so on. So that means we're adding 2 seats per row. Okay. So you can think about this. Okay, this is your row 1. That will be 18. And then you have row 2, which is 20. And you have row 3, that is 22, and so forth. And then you have all the way to row 50. And of course, we will wonder, so how many seats are there for the 50th row? And what we want to know is, so for this entire auditorium, what is the seating capacity? Okay. Now, so you can look at it this way, or I can also help you look at it in a different way. So you can think about that like this. So we're saying, hey, so, you know, the first row, we got 18 seats. And then for the 50th row, well, yeah, go find out how many seats are there. And altogether, there are 50 rows. So could you find out what the number of seats there are in the 50th row? So to find out the 50th row, okay, so it will be very helpful if you know the formula. So we know we're adding 2 seats every single one. So we say 2n, and then 2n plus how many? 16. Okay, because when n is equal to 1, you have 2 plus 16, which gives you 18. So the nth term notation is 2n plus 16. And again, you always check if the notation is accurate, and you use the first term to check it. And then you go ahead and find out what's the 50th term. So that should be very easy. That will be 116 seats right there. So we say, all right, so you have so many rows, 50 rows, and you have to increase 2 seats per row as we go on. So so the 50th row, we have 116 seats. So how many seats altogether? Basically asking, hey, can you find out the area under this curve? Can you find out the area of this trapezoid? And we say, sure. Let's find out S50. So 50 over 2 times 18 plus 116. So that is 25 times 134. And I'm going to run to my calculator. 25 times 134, 3350. Okay, so we have a total number of seats, 3,350 seats altogether. Well, 2 days ago, we introduced the formula for a geometric sequence. We have an is equal to a1, which is the first term, times r, which is the ratio, raised to the power of n minus 1. It's n minus 1 because we do not want to multiply anything for the first term. So it's n minus 1 so that you get to 0, or to the 0 power, it's 1. So all good. Now, this example, you want to make a star, you want to highlight it, you want to do something so that you would not miss this example, because this is a pretty challenging one compared to what we had before. Now, we had a similar situation yesterday, but the kind of situation that we dealt with yesterday was on arithmetic sequence. This is geometric sequence. We are multiplying some numbers. So what's going on here? It says, please find out the 10th term. But we give you the 3rd term and the 6th term. So what's going on here visually is that, all right, that's the 1st term, that's the 2nd term, hey, that's the 3rd term. 4th, 5th, hey, that's a 6th term. And then 7, 8, 9, and 10. We say, please go ahead, find out the 10th term. So we are saying, how? Like, we're not given what the ratio is. We are not given what the first number is. And how on earth can we find out the 10th term? Now, we are multiplying some numbers. I think we can at least know something, and that is multiply by a fraction. I think that's a good thing. Okay, so that's a good thing to say. So let's go ahead and write this down. We can say R must be a fraction. Is it a negative 1/2? Well, now we can try. Okay, just based on what you have. So if you guess it's negative 1/2, so 2 times negative 1/2 would be negative 1. 1 time negative 1 times negative 1/2 would be positive 1/2. Positive 1/2 times negative 1/2 would be negative 1/4. Oh, so you guess it right. Now you can guess it right, but there are so many possibilities out there. So we don't want to rely on just guessing to find out. So we need a more systemic way. And yesterday we dealt with this scenario. We said, hey, you have two numbers given, but we don't know two things. We don't know what the A1 is. We don't know what the R is. We have two unknowns. We have two unknowns right here. So if you need to find out two unknowns, you need two equations. Well, where are the two equations? Well, you got A3 and A6. So that means you can say, well, A3, which is 2, it's equal to, we don't know the A1, and we don't know the R, but we know the N in this case. The N in this case will be 3. So we're using the notation that we had earlier. Okay, that's the nth term notation. We just write down whatever we know. And you'll find out that, yeah, we don't know the A1, we don't know the R, and it's fine because we just have two unknowns. Just get the other equation. And we say, well, what's the other equation? Negative 1/4. It's equal to A1 times R raised to the 6 minus 1 power. And now let's go ahead and seems like it'll be a lot easier to solve for A1. So A1 times R squared, and A1 is equal to 2 over R squared. That's A1. And then on the left, you have quarter, negative quarter, A1 times R to the 5th power. So A1 is equal to negative 1 over 4R to the 5th power. Okay. Two equations, two unknowns. You can put them together. So you have 2 over R squared, it's equal to negative 1 over 4R to the 5th power. Okay. So there are multiple ways you can do this. You can do cross multiplication. I don't care how you do it. I just need to make sure that I can put all the R's together. So what's going to happen is that R to the 5th is going to be multiplied to the other side. And then the 2, it's going to be divided to the other side. So if you know your exponential rules, what's R to the 5th power over R squared? Cube, yes, R to the 3rd power. It's negative 1/8. And then you take the cube root of negative 1/8, you will have negative 1/2. So that's your R value. And once you have your R value, you can use the one of the A1 equation. I will use the one on the left because that's easier. So we'd say A1 is equal to 2 over negative 1/2 squared. 2 over 1/4, yes. And when you have 2 over 1/4, that means you have 2 divided by 1 over 4. That means you have 2 times 4. So your A1 is 8. So now you have your A1, you have your R. So we'd say, oh, so your nth term notation is 8 times negative 1/2 to the n minus 1 power. You keep root, to get negative 1/2, you keep root the R squared, to keep root the R cube. That's how you get R by itself. And 8 is 2 to the 3rd power. Okay. So you have the nth term notation. So nth term notation. So you can find out the 10th term. So you just do this. All right. So you have 8 times -1/2. Okay, to the 9th power. Now you can put it into a calculator. That will give you the answer. Or if you do not have a calculator, you can do this. Now we know the negative, it's going to be raised to an odd number power. So the overall number must be negative. So we can put the negative up front first. What's 8? 2 cubed. What's 1/2 to the 9th power? 2 to the -9 power. So you have -2 to the -6 power. So you may not know what 2 to the 9th power is, but I think 2 to the 6th power is a lot more easier to handle. So your overall answer is -1/64. Okay. So I hope that negative exponent is not scaring you right now. Okay. I hope that these exponents are not scaring you right now.